Hey, how's it going again? Um, I'd like to ramble on about well, the royal family, if I can. I don't know. Maybe this will get me booted from YouTube. Who knows? But I'm not much of a monarchist, but at the same time, I can understand how the institution works, at least to some extent. My issue with all this is I don't really see the point. Like Harry and Meghan doing that docu series on Netflix is going to be suicide for them and for Netflix for various reasons. Slandering the royal family has never been a good idea, and there hasn't been anyone who ever done that without having consequences laid. Princess Diane being one example, unfortunately. The reason why I don't really see it as that big of a deal, and more importantly, I'm kind of apathetic to all of it, is because at the end of the day, what it is rich people complaining. Most people who like drama are going to like this because it's tabloid journalism. But at the end of the day, that's all it is. You know, they're not changing the world for the better here. Not much is going to change, if anything at all. And there's still going to be minimum wage workers flipping burgers at McDonald's, whether people like to admit to it or not. So at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. Now, there are people dying in other nations right now, and there's Harry and Meghan complaining because of what? Paparazzi, because of maybe she didn't get the right coffee at Buckingham Palace. I mean, I haven't looked into this whole docuseries thing seriously, but let's face it. At the end of the day, the only thing it is two people bitching about the lives that they were born in or acquired over time, and they never bothered to do anything to change how they live. I can't help but find that kind of hypocritical. If you have a problem, at least try to find a practical solution to fix it. And if you can't, then that sounds like a you problem, not the rest of the world problem. The rest of the world's got other shit to deal with. Especially considering our politicians have pretty much gone off the rails recently. At least they have in Canada. Well, then again, Trudeau was always an idiot, so I don't really see how that's changed much in all of his time. Although now I hear he's even pissing off some of his major voter base in Ontario, and that's not a good idea to do in this country. Kind of need Ontario to get elected, especially considering he ain't going to have any love out here in the West. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's just celebrities complaining. That's all they are. Now, yes, the royal family is an institution. It's been around for, what, I think about 1,000 years, if not longer. You could, if you know your homework when it comes to that, you could probably track the royal family of England all the way back to, I don't know, who was it? I think it was William the Conqueror or something like that. And even that, I'm not entirely sure about. I mean, like they had the War of the Roses. They had at least one civil war just over succession. If not more than one, because I think there was well, again, I don't know. I don't want to go spouting off things that I'm not entirely sure about, but I'm pretty sure it happened at least once, and it wouldn't surprise me if it happened more than once in England. And I say England because I don't really include the rest of the Regency, Scotland and Wales and Northern Ireland in this, simply because A, I'm not entirely sure how that works, and two, it's a unitarian government. Let's face it, everything goes through London as far as I can understand. Now, correct me if I'm wrong if you can in the comments, but that's what it looks like from an outsider looking in. Canada is a Commonwealth country. We've been one of the primary contributors to the Commonwealth for a very long time. I don't think that's changed much, and there are plenty of monarchists here, which is why it came up on my radar with all of this Harry and Merkel crap. But at the end of the day, even we are kind of like sitting back going, what's the big deal here? I mean, Queen Elizabeth is dead. God save the Queen. We now have King Charles now. King Charles, for all of his flaws, is still the king. Uh, In terms of direct succession, I'm pretty sure, and again, I could be wrong, I'm pretty sure William takes the throne, not Harry, anyway. Harry only got a lot of attention because was a, well, he was a show off. He was very showy. And he did a lot of so called controversial things. In my opinion, they were just pranks gone wrong, but still controversial things that led to him being part of the spotlight. Meghan, for her own history, should be well used to paparazzi. I mean, she was supposedly an actress and a few other things before she even met the man. So, in terms of that aspect, I don't really see how that's a big deal. In terms of her liberalistic or, I hate to use the term, but I am going to use it, feminist policies, the hard reality is that if Harry wants to be a tool, I hate to say it, but that's his choice. And if if people don't like it, well, there ain't much you can do about it. He married the person. He married her. He's got to deal with it. He made his bed. He now has to sleep in it with her. Hopefully, I don't know. Who knows? They could have separate rooms for all we know. That's the reality of his personal situation. And in my opinion, it's not really anybody else's business but their own. The fact that they've made it everybody else's business is kind of why it attracts a lot of ire. Because it's like, there are systems in place. There are things they could have done, I'm pretty sure there is, to have either made the discomfort more tolerable, or at least in Meghan's case, basically get around the culture shock. I think one of the reasons why Diane and Charles happened the way it happened was because Charles, now again, this could be me being a complete idiot about this, but from what I understood, it was a matter of Charles had an affair, Diane didn't like it, Diane separated, and what happened happened. And in fact, she kind of got at them in her own way, similar to the way Meghan's doing it, which is, but at the end of the day, it was still, at the time, tabloid journalism, just like it is with these two guys. So, but I don't see much in it. I don't really see the reason for it, but it is what it is. And I don't know. I don't plan on watching the documentary thingy simply because I got more interesting things to watch than rich people bitching about how they live. That, and I don't have a lot of money for Netflix anyway. I'd rather pay for a Crave subscription and watch some of HBO's stuff like House of the Dragon and a few other things than watch Netflix anyway. A lot of the crap that's been on Netflix is, the quality just isn't there anymore in terms of the subject matter. But again, that's just my own personal opinion on that. I'm pretty sure there are people who disagree. Anyway, this is Floyd signing off. Have a good one.